Alright everyone, welcome back again to some more Umineko. I don't know what it is about this game, but I'm always excited to see what happens next, and I'm looking forward to it because you can tell there's like something building up. And even though it's been told several times by the grandfather Kinzo that he has like a ritual he plans to use, it's just like you know that something dark is on the way. And you also learn that through the epitaph itself. Like, it's there, it's written for us, and we're just like waiting for when the tension will break. And so here we are at this point, and we're going to continue on from where we last left off. So if anything else, guys, hope you all continue to enjoy. Thank you all for the love and support, and let's get right back into it. Alright everyone, welcome back again. Let's get right back into it.
じゃあ、俺たちもゲストハウスへ戻ろうぜ。テレビでも見て、くつろがせてもらうさ。
うん。テレビ見る。テレビ見る。うん。なら決まりだな。戻ってみんなで一緒にテレビでも見ようぜ。
Even Maria, who was still not tired of playing, agreed when she thought about watching TV. We headed up the gentle stairs and returned to the rose garden. The wind had become very strong, and roses shook throughout the garden like ripples in water. This might be our last chance to see these beautiful roses. Tonight's typhoon is sure to ruin them.
バラ、今夜の風でやられちまうかもしれないな。
そうだな。バラたちもラッキーだったと思うぜ。台風の前にバトラたちを歓迎できたんだからよ。
花はいつか必ず散る。でも、だからこそ咲き誇る今をめでることができるんじゃないかな。
I don't like the way he said that and his glasses fogged up again. It comes off as it's expected that death will come, but it's beautiful to see it when it happens. That's what I'm getting from. That's the vibe I'm getting from right now.
そうだな。マリアもよく目に焼き付けとけ。今この瞬間が今年で一番のバラなんだぜ。
目に焼き付ける。
Right then, Maria suddenly clapped her hands. It looked like she had remembered something.
マリアのバラ、台風で飛ばされちゃう。
ああ、ジョージの兄貴に目印のリボンをつけてもらった。
It seemed that Maria remembered where the rose was. She ran at full speed. The rest of us followed her.
あれはどこだったっけな。確かこの辺だったと思ったぜ。
We searched everywhere around the area, but after all, it was only a single flower amongst all these roses. Even though we knew it was somewhere close by, it wasn't proving easy to find. The winds that made up the front lines of the typhoon were making the roses throughout the garden undulate. It was almost like it was teasing us by making the location of Maria's rose impossible to find.
ここじゃなかったかな。少し手分けをして探してみようか。
そうだな。人海戦術で行こうぜ。なんだよ、マリア。
As we made it to split up and search, Maria tugged on my jacket with an unhappy face. I felt like her intention was to stop us from going to another place.
なんだよ、どうした？
マリアのバラはここなの。ここにあるの。でも現にないぜ。この花壇の裏側だったかもな。みんなで探せば早いぜ。ここなの。マリアのバラはここなの。探して。探して。
Maria stomped her feet in irritation. She was pointing at the spot saying it was definitely there, yet it actually wasn't. And yet, if we went to go search elsewhere, she got mad. We were at a loss for what to do. For a while, we would have to stay with Maria and pretend to search through this rose thicket. Maybe she's saying that it should be here, but isn't. Maria became increasingly ill-tempered.
参ったな。マリアがすっかり機嫌を損ねちまったぞ。
If Maria knows it's there, why doesn't she go put her hands and look for it herself? Unless they're worried she'll cut herself from the thorns.
マリアはたまにすごくどうでもいいことを気にし始めちゃうんだよ。それがどうにかなるときはいいんだけど。
ないものは探せないしね。困ったな。
Just as we're starting to despair for a way out of the situation, Maria shouted out loudly. In the direction she was waving her hand, Auntie Rosa's figure was visible. Maybe she wanted to look at the garden one more time before the typhoon came. Or maybe she had some business at the guest house. I almost read that as gruesome. Auntie Rosa was coming from the mansion. She quickly noticed her daughter's voice and came over.
あらあら。どうしたのみんな。何か探し物なの？
探して！ママもマリアのバラを探して！
マリアのバラって？
この辺に元気のないバラを一つ見つけて、それに目印をつけたんです。
飴玉かなんかの包み紙でキュッと。しかしマリア、確か俺の記憶が正しけりゃ、すぐ手前の目立つところに生えてたはずだぜ。足が生えてどこかに行っちまったんじゃなきゃ、他の場所だったと思うぜ。マリアの記憶違いじゃないのか？
ここなの！パトラが信じてくれない！
その言うのをやめなさいって何度言ったらわかるの？ママも探してあげるから静かにしなさい。
I was a little surprised to see Auntie Rosa, who I had only ever seen as gentle, get angry. Auntie Rosa began searching as well, so we went along with her for the time being. But we were already more than sure that it wasn't around here. And so, Auntie Rosa also realized very quickly that it wasn't here.
ここにはそのバラはないわよ。他の場所の間違いじゃない。これだけたくさんのバラがあるんだから。違うの！
ここにあるの！ママも信じてくれない！
ちゃんと信じて探してるでしょ！でもないじゃない！
でもここなの！ここにあるのにないの！
じゃあ誰かが抜いちゃったんでしょ？とにかくその言うのやめなさい！
マリアのバラ抜いたの誰？抜いたの誰？返して！返して！
そんなの知らないわよ！やめなさい！その言うのやめなさい！
I was waiting for it. I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, she's gonna smack her, isn't she? And boom. Auntie Rosa slapped Maria's left cheek with her palm. For that instant, Maria was shocked into silence. Of course, it was only for an instant. When Maria realized that her wish was being rejected before it could be fulfilled, she started yelling with an increasingly louder voice. Once again, her palm slapped Maria's cheek. Oh my god. This time, she didn't go silent. She choked as she started crying and began to bawl in an increasingly louder voice. Auntie Rosa was clearly irritated and lifted her hand once more to try and shut her daughter up.
ローザおばさん。まあまあ、小さい子供のことですし、そんなマジになんなくても。
I attempted to intervene with a forced smile and my hands clasped together. But the deadly serious look I was thrown by Auntie Rosa taught me quickly that I shouldn't butt in.
ごめんね。 バトラ君たちはちょっとお部屋に戻っててくれる？おばさんはマリアとちょっと話があるの。
誰もマリアのバラを信じてくれない。ここにあったのに。探して探してここなの、ここにあったの。
でもないじゃない。なら他の場所の勘違いでしょ。
ここなの、絶対にここなの。
じゃあなくなっちゃったのよ。諦めなさい。
どうしてマリアのバラがなくなっちゃうの？どうして
知らないわよ、そんなの。だからその言うのをやめなさい。
Wow, Rosa's really losing it. Ever since she got screwed by her brother, it seems like all her desperation seeping through and being directed at her daughter. Auntie Rosa once again raised her hand and, overrun by emotion, slapped Maria's cheek. It was so strong it knocked Maria over.
ローザおばさん、いくら娘でも暴力はいけねっすよ。
I stepped between them to protect Maria, who was still on the ground crying, ooh, ooh. I know that problems between parent and child are none of my business as an outsider, but I wasn't brought up to just silently observe something like this. Watch her smack Battler now.
バトラ君は変に思わないの？あなたの学校にうなってる女の子なんている？
いや、まあ、さすがに高校には。でも小学生ならそういう言うのも可愛いじゃないっすか。
可愛い？言うのが可愛い？
Well, it is when it's not overdone like how she's doing it, but generally speaking, it's not that bad.
可愛いって？
It seemed that my reckless words had brought Auntie Rosa's wrath down upon me. She grabbed my collar with a terrifying expression.
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。マリアがいくつか知ってる？9歳よ。小学4年生なのよ。幼稚園児じゃないのよ。
Yeah, I was questioning that too. I was like, wait, isn't Maria like 9? Why is she acting like she's younger than that?
それなのにまだクラスで言ってるのよ。わかる？この子クラスでなんて言っていじめられてるか知ってるの？この変な口癖のせいで未だに友達の一人もいないのよ。無責任にマリアのこと可愛いとか言って現実から目をそらさないで。
Well, that habit shouldn't cause her to not make any friends at all. If anything, it should make people around her curious about her. I mean, some people will make fun of her, sure, but I'm just saying, that still shouldn't be a reason why she can't make any friends.
この子の将来のことをもっともっと真剣に考えて。
Yep, it's seeping through. She needs that money to help both her and her daughter.
だからその言うのをやめなさい。やめろって言ってんでしょ。
Oh my gosh, she's just smacking the hell out of her today, huh? Auntie Rosa struck Maria's quivering head from which an increasingly unsatisfied voice was rising. I tried to stop her, but she thrust me away. My back collided with George Aniki.
昔は、ローザおばさんも、マリアちゃんの幼児言葉の一つだくらいにしか思わなかったんだけど、小学校の中学年になっても治らないのを、最近はだいぶ気にしてて。
別に、どういう言葉遣いをしようと。
そのまま社会人にはなれないよ。だから、見ていて気持ちのいい光景ではないけれど、これは、おばさんたち親子の問題なんだよ。
まあ、私もこの言葉遣いのせいでよくお袋に怒られるけどよ。
If you look at it that way, maybe an outsider shouldn't interfere with this, even though it's painful to watch.
バトラ君だって、小さい頃、悪い癖が治らなくて怒られたことがあったんじゃないかい？
まあ、一つや二つは。授業参観の日に、人前でずっと怒られてた時は、恥ずかしくてたまらなかったぜ。
じゃあ、今のマリアちゃんたちの気持ちはわかるよね。僕たちに、ここにいてほしいとは思わないんじゃないかな。ジェシカちゃんにもわかるよね。
怒られてるところを、誰かに見られてえとは思わないぜ。
行こう。ゲストハウスへ戻ろう。そして、マリアちゃんが戻ってきたら、何事もなかったかのように迎えてあげようよ。それが、一番じゃないかい。
We thought that George Anaki's point was probably correct. And if we could use that correct sounding reason to justify our retreat from this painful scene, that was probably enough for us. Jessica and I nodded at George Anaki and we all left. We called towards Maria that we were going to head to the guest house, but since it didn't seem to reach her ears, we felt guilty and shameless even saying it.
それなら好きなだけ一人で探しなさい。ママは知りません。
探す！マリアが一人で探す！ママが知らなくても探す！
勝手にしなさい！
After blasting her with those last few words, Rosa spun on her heels and quickly returned to the mansion. Maria probably viewed that as a cold, hurtful gesture, but from Rosa's perspective, that was not her intention. It was because the hand which she had so emotionally struck Maria's cheek with was still numb. It was because if she stayed there screaming, she might again be taken over by her emotions and continue slapping her daughter's cheek over and over. After Rosa left, only Maria was left in the rose garden, all alone. The wind began to blow stronger and stronger, and every once in a while, a raindrop would fall on her forehead. However, Maria couldn't leave that place. Not until she found that poor, withering rose. It had definitely been there. And yet, it wasn't there. Even though she knew the place and even though this was it wasn't there. Maria, while bitterly staring at the place it was supposed to be, thought frantically. Maybe the angle I'm looking from is wrong. Maybe the height I'm looking from is wrong. While gazing at a single point, Maria repeatedly changed her position and continued to stare. The wind was getting increasingly stronger, but Maria kept on looking for that rose in front of the flower bed. Man, even with this visual novel, they even had the sound effects of the rain pouring too. Kinzo noticed the sound of the raindrops beating on the window. It had finally started to rain. It had begun later than the weather report had predicted. Kinzo, as if being summoned by the sound of the rain, approached the window. The sound of the rain is a sound of silence. That sound feels quieter than any silence. It makes humans remember that, in the end, they are alone from when they are born to when they die.
遅かったではないか、ベアトリーチェ。
Were those words directed at the rainy sky? No one could be seen in the direction of Kinzo's gaze.
さあ、始めようではないか。私とお前の奇跡の宴を。今こそ、この島は現世より切り離された。もう誰も私の儀式の邪魔をすることはできぬ。お前にふさわしい生贄は十分にあるぞ。
So this guy is willing to sacrifice his whole family, huh?
息子たちが4人、その伴侶が3人、孫たちが4人、私に、客に、使用人たち。
He's sacrificing even himself too.
どれでも好きなだけ食らうがいい。運命の鍵は悪魔のルーレットに従い生贄を選ぶであろう。そのルーレットが私を選ぶならば、私すらもお前の生贄となろう。だが、だからこそなのだ。 それだけの狂気をかけるからこそ、私は必ずや偉大な奇跡を起こすだろう。さあ、好きなだけ食らうがいい。私はそのルーレットに打ち勝つだろう。さあ、すべてを落とすぞ。まずは後宮家の家督を返そう。受け取るがいい。
As Kinzo violently opened the window, he ripped the golden ring from his finger and forcefully threw it away. At that moment, thunder resounded, giving the illusion that the lightning had accepted the ring.
そして、お前が蘇った時、そこにいるのは私であるだろう。私が最後まで生き残り、お前の目覚めを見守るだろう。さあ来たれ、ベアトリーチェ。ようこそ我が宴。私が生み出した全てと引き換えに、私にもう一度だけ奇跡を見せておくれ。おー、
Oh, another shatter. Alright, every hour goes by. Letter and umbrella. A news sticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told how municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Of course, the harshly beating raindrops of the window were much more convincing.
すっげえ不利だな。でもこれだけ盛大だとすぐにやみそうな気もするけどな。
そりゃ雨ぜ。台風の速度が遅いそうだから、下手すりゃ明日も丸一日こんな調子らしいぜ。ちょっとの天気でも船は欠航するもんだしよ。
やっぱり日曜日のうちには引き上げられないか。念のため月曜日に外部とのスケジュールを入れなくて正解だったよ。
ってことは月曜の学校はサボれそうだな。島生活ってのも悪くないもんだぜ。そういや、ジェシカは登校って毎日船で通ってるわけだろ。船が欠航したら学校はどうなるんだ？カメハメハ大王並みに雨が降ったらお休みで風が吹いたら遅刻してか？
船が出なきゃ休みになるぜ。もっともそう甘くはねえけどな。大抵その代わりに自習が指示されて後でかっちりと見られるから、そうそう気楽でもねえさ。
例えば梅雨なんかの長く天気が崩れる時期だと数日間くらい登校できないこともあるんじゃねえのか？
そういうこともあるぜ。でも毎日きっちり担任から電話がかかってきて、どう自習しろ、何を提出しろとすっぱく指導されるけどな。
バトラ君が考えてるほど簡単にはサボれないよ。船で通う人たちのルールに従ってしっかり勉強をしているよ。
むしろ登校できた方が気楽だぜ。自分の部屋じゃ気が散るし、集中もできねえしな。それでいて問題集ばっかり数日もやらされてると、かなり精神的に応えるもんがあるぜ。大学の時にはよ、寮のあるところに入ってさっさとこんな不便な島はおさらばしたいもんだぜ。
へえ。じゃあよ、ちなみに行きは天気が良くても帰りは悪くて欠航ってなったらどうすんだ？学校に泊まるのか？
そういうのはよくあることだぜ。だから帰島できない人用の宿泊所があってよ、そこに寝泊まりするんだよ。下手すりゃ数日間家に帰れないこともあったりするぜ。
乗車率が 200% を超えるような満員電車で毎日通勤通学しなければならない人から見てみると、船の通学なんて趣があって良さそうだななんて無責任に思っちゃうけど、やっぱりいろいろと苦労があるんだね。
よく無神経な観光客がそういうこと言ってるぜ。私は島の生活なんて、もうお腹いっぱいだね。早く高校出て、こんな島とはおさらばしたいぜ。
高校にだって、全寮制のところとかあったろうよ。なんでわざわざ、新島の学校を選んだんだよ。
私は最初からそれを希望してたぜ。でもお袋がよ、当主後継ぎとしての修行やらマナーやらがうんぬんってうるさくてよ。結局、高校も地元になっちまったのさ。こんな島はごめんだぜ。早く都会で生活したいよ。雨が降ろうが槍が降ろうが、ラフな格好でサンダルを履けば、5分足らずでコンビニに行けるような都会に引っ越したいぜ。
もう少しの辛抱だよ。高校卒業まであとちょっとでしょ。
そのちょっとも我慢できねえぜ。
Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe because now was a bad time slot, there weren't any interesting programs on. And we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. In the end, Maria had not returned to the cousin's room. She had probably been brought back to the mansion by Auntie Rosa. It had to be pretty boring for Maria all by herself while the adults are having a confusing conversation. We thought we might head over to the mansion to see her, but after all, it was that lousy weather. And there wasn't much time until dinner, so we stayed where we were. At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered.
Hi!
お食事の準備が整いました。お屋敷へお越しください。
It was Kanon-kun's voice. He went to the old trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to call us over. Could he have just called us on the telephone? Oh well, maybe sometimes part of the servant's duty is to go against common sense.
なんとなくお腹が空いてきた頃だったしね。行こうか。
George and Nikki turned off the television and stood up.
俺はとっくにペコペコ。本家の晩餐は毎回凝ってるしな。それにゴーダさん、子牛のステーキとか言ってなかったっけ？たまらねえぜ。
親族会議の日は特に豪華になるしな。私だって楽しみだぜ。行こう行こ
う。As we left the room, Kanon-kun bowed silently and respectfully.
じゃあ行こうぜ。外の振りはだいぶひどいだろう。
はい。お召し物を濡らさぬよう十分ご注意ください。
After seeing the three of us out, Kanon-kun peered into the empty room.
マリア様はいらっしゃいませんか？
Uh-oh.
一緒じゃないぜ。ローザおばさんと一緒じゃないのかよ。
Rosa, lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, had fallen asleep at some point. She was bearing a burden on her shoulders that the children could never even imagine. Therefore, when she let herself relax, the exhaustion quickly led her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. When he tried to spread it over her, her eyes snapped open as though she had received an electric shock.
ありがとう。源氏さんなのね。
When she realized that the thing had touched her was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief.
起こしてしまいましたか。失礼いたしました。
いえ、いいの。寝るつもりじゃなかったから。今は何時なの？
Asked for the time, Genji checked the pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket.
6時を少し過ぎたところです。
Rosa gave her head a little shake as she realized that even though it had felt like she had slept a long time, not much time had actually passed. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that wrapped around her felt very deep.
ありがとう。毛布は結構よ。変な時間に眠っちゃダメね。すっかり時間の感覚が狂っちゃったわ。雨、とうとう降り出したのね。
Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain that had started falling.
風もだいぶ出てるよね。いよいよ台風なのかしら。
そのようにテレビでは申しております。遅い台風だそうで、明日いっぱいはこんな調子だそうです。
そう。この素敵なバラ庭園も、日中のあれが見納めだったのね。
From the window, what she could see of the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and the rain.
マリア。そうだ。マリアは？
私はお見かけしておりませんが、ゲストハウスにお戻りではないでしょうか。
Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, and a chill ran up her back. Maria was stupidly straightforward to the point that stupidly could be repeated 7 times. And if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to end the video here for today. We all knew this was gonna happen. I saw it coming. I knew Maria was gonna stay there until the weather got even harsh during that typhoon, and it's gonna get even worse. So, we're gonna find out what happens in the next one, guys. Thank you all for watching.